The Bills season has come to an end. They fall here in Houston in overtime, a heartbreaking way for things to come to an end. Joe Buscaglia from the Athletic, Matt Bove here. Joe, where did it all go wrong? That's the million-dollar question.
How much time do we have?
We have so much time.
Well, it started off really well. You know, the offense, the first drive was perhaps one of the best we've seen out of the gates the entire season, if not the best. Brian Dable was dialing up different personnel groupings and just completely had Houston on their heels, and that part of it was great. But from there, it was all just kind of slowly slipping away from them because they had two more drives in the first half that did not result in a touchdown. And not to say that every drive that gets close has to result in a touchdown, but you would like more than one.
Yeah. And
the Bills had 4 different field goal drives by the end of the game, and so the offense was just effectively a no-show. The idea to use Frank Gore down near the red zone area on 2 separate plays after Devin Singletary had gotten basically all your yards to get you there was mind-numbing, to say the least. And then defensively, the team that we kind of knew throughout the season was nowhere to be found in the second half. Now, they showed up to force overtime, and they deserve credit for that. But these big plays that were had by Houston that they have limited themselves from all year, it just doesn't make any sense that it comes down to it right then and there. And then, of course, everyone's going to talk about the Deshaun Watson Superman play.
The 3rd and 18 play?
The 3rd and 18 play is the one that should stick in the craw with people, because that is a situation that this defense covets. 3rd and 18, they back up to the first down marker, and then they allow they allow a underneath pass, and then they swarm them. And they just got too ahead of themselves. They tried to take away too far down past the sticks, and yeah, Duke Johnson got the first down. So it was a painful loss. We didn't even get into Josh Allen. Let's go there next.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the thing. You can take this wherever you want. There are so many different people to blame in this game. Personally, I do not think Josh Allen was good enough to win a playoff game or really even close. What's your take?
I think the beginning of his efforts were solid. I think we saw a complete and utter regression in basically halfway through the third quarter on. And it's difficult for Bills fans to hear because this is a guy who has made many strides this season, specifically after the New England game when he threw the 3 picks. He hasn't really turned the ball over that too much. We haven't seen Hero Ball Josh all that much. Hero Ball Josh was here. He showed up in a big way to Houston, and while he made some just dynamite throws, it was more reminiscent of what he was near the end of last season than what he has been from week 5 through week 17 of this season. And that is not good enough to win in the NFL. You can't make decisions that he did and expect to get away with it. He got away with a bunch, like throwing in double coverage 45 yards down the field to your fullback and making him stretch, who has like a 5-inch vertical.
That was crazy.
That's not ideal. And then another part of this, after he gained 17 yards on the ground, let's just pitch it to Dawson Knox.
That's crazy.
Like, that's just they prepare him all year for situations like that, and he just completely went back to Pop Warner. And that's frustrating. It has to be frustrating for the coaching staff. Sean McDermott said after the game, like, it seemed like he was putting too much on his shoulders. And he didn't say this, but I will. The game was too big for him down the stretch, and he has to learn from it. And if you want to spin this a good way, he's going to be hungrier than ever in the offseason, because that is a bad taste to end the season with, especially with his performance, because he was a big reason they lost this game.
Is there reason to be optimistic about the future? Because I think that's what Bills fans are going to probably try and latch onto tonight.
Well, yeah, I mean, the majority of their team returns, right? I mean, the ones that are out are Lorenzo Alexander, who announced his retirement, Quentin Spain, who's their left guard, who's done on his contract, Shaq Lawson, who they might bring back, and Jordan Phillips, who I think is a little overrated myself. So the rest of it is basically young, and now they have a bunch of draft picks to add to that. It's just a matter of growing from this. That's the biggest thing. I mean, this loss for the fan base and for the team itself sucks. It does. There's no other way around it. Fans are going to be feeling it for a long time, and because they had multiple opportunities to win. They should have won this game. But they collapsed in every facet except for special teams.
Yep.
Steven Hauschka was the MVP of the game because he didn't dissipate one bit. But they collapsed. There's no other way around it. This was their game for the taking. They shut them out in the first half. They had a 16-0 lead, and they did squat after that. 3 points. Not good enough.
Joe Buscaglia has spoken. Listen to his podcast. That was probably about 5 minutes it takes. There's going to be about an hour it takes on the podcast. Thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. He's the best. For Joe Buscaglia, for one last time, I'm Matt Bove. We'll talk to you guys later.